I'd entertain a motion to open the meeting.
Motion.
Roll call of voting members. Why don't you get to start today?
Kathy Zerma.
John Ferraro.
Damon Jesperson. And we also have a guest from the Council on Aging who's not a voting member, Janine Cunningham. So, do we have an update on the matrix?
Okay. For us, Cindy said that she didn't have that, she doesn't have much to report because we've been so busy with Council on Aging for Christmas.
Yeah.
So we have not done a lot with ours, to tell you the truth.
When I sat with her last week, she said, I'm going to get it done. And I thought, I don't think you're going to be able to get it done.
Oh my gosh, I don't know, we've been like on straight, but things will settle down now. So January and February is always kind of nice because we can kind of catch up on some things that we were too busy to do for November and December.
Yes.
You know.
How about you, John?
Not much to donate at this point. I spent 2 weeks on the West Coast and I've been away from Council on Aging matters other than just the connection with trying to help out, as I mentioned in our COA meeting. Robert Etheridge get some exposure to you and Cindy and begin to tailor communication. Might be a good way to broadcast COA with a younger population as well, which I continue to consider as a major part of our undertaking, because they're an emerging in the queue population. They're going to be here soon. 60, 50, 40, 30, or their parents are going to be here right away.
Right.
And I've met with Kristen Grubbs and the principal assessor, whose name is not coming to me right now, to try and identify potential parcels that we already own, so that we can evaluate different sites so we can make a recommendation to the select board. But again, the holidays were busy for everybody, and that is going to take some time. There's a lot of sites in town that simply don't work because they're either marsh or they're unbuildable for other reasons. The town is as large as it is and expansive. We've built on a lot of the spots that we can build. So it's going to be, I think, finding a good house for the Council on Aging will take some time.
And its proximity, location to, it can't be isolated.
Correct. That goes into the matrix. So
There would have to be a criterion that Kathy and Cindy put down as synergy with other members of the
Yes.
village leadership.
Right, that definitely has a huge part of it, because for the first year of my life in the town, we were at the school. And I'll tell you, being away from everybody else, hardly anybody would come over to that school unless they needed something from us, needed something. Since we've been here, just people going up to the town hall Tuesday nights are great. People will just stop in and say, oh, I've never been in here before. Come on in, we'll give you a tour and stuff. So it definitely helps us.
Yeah.
We've never had anything like that at school.
First door on the right.
Right. So, that's important.
And I keep coming back to my favorite spot, if it's appropriate for me to even mention it, which is...
we know where you want to be, and I think, it has some of the synergies and it has distinct possibilities, and, easements and things like that are things that we'll look at to see how viable it is. And also I've met with members of the rec committee about that site because...
And the competition.
Well, not even that they're competition, about what the actual rules, when the town accepted that piece of property, under what conditions was it actually accepted? Because sometimes people say, after the fact, it was accepted to do this, and they may not have all of the details exactly right. And so there will be questions for Lisa Mead to sort through as far as usability, to make sure that we don't pursue something that we can't do. You know, that's always why we want to know if there's a sewer or the ability to perk a piece before we even consider it. Because if you can't put in a septic system, you certainly can't have a building there.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are baseline requirements that have to be met before any site can be seriously considered. So, so we're still working through those steps with a number of the properties that are under consideration. And, you know, should anyone wish to donate a large piece of property to the town where we could do things, I can advocate heavily that the selectmen will accept the property, and I will work tirelessly to make it happen, just in case. So I guess having passed through the holidays and recognizing that we have all been very busy, I would encourage us to bring a little more focus back to this. I know that I'm as guilty as anyone for not getting everything done. And if there are ideas from the general public, please reach out to the Council on Aging and or me. And I think for right now, that is all we need to accomplish today besides setting the next meeting date. As I said, I'm unavailable on Mondays next month. John, what is your general availability?
I'm relatively free.
Okay.
And Mondays, but if Monday's not, if we slide it to another day of the week, then that's fine with me as well.
Okay. I know that, yeah, for next month, my Mondays are not good. What about for you guys, generally speaking?
We can be flexible to do what you need.
Okay.
We can be flexible.
I am imagining then that a Tuesday morning might work for me the best, but I will meet with Cindy later in the week, and we can set a date, knowing that you're flexible and you can be pretty flexible.
Yeah.
And then we'll post the meeting, but I think we can tentatively set it for the 11th. And I would say we can do it at 9 because there won't be a Council on Aging meeting right before it. So,
You said the 11th?
yeah.
The other aspect too is, I spoke briefly of this with Kristen Grubb before Christmas. Just the idea of trying to put together a sit-down discussion, just a round-table discussion, and I wanted Bob Connors, Eric Svein, who spent so much time with me exploring .0.5, rather, Lunch Street, and the idea of somebody if we can get Bob to devote some time to it and get a sense of capital campaign, if there's any viability, but I wanted Kristen to sit in and maybe deal with Tracy as to whether it's viable, it can be done, it's permitted to be done. Our town is allowed to take measures and create property out of capital campaign funds as opposed to tax base and revenue.
Now when you say create property, I don't...
Well, in other words, to build a building with capital private funds, it's somebody...
With donations.
Donations. But a capital campaign where my judgment would be not asking for giant contributions, but finding some people of means who are willing to put a matching quotient into the program and literally go out for $100, $1,000, $5,000 and know that it's going to be matched and see if we can at least get a down payment to a building and the rest of it ends up on the town's coffers.
Yeah.
But it gives some relief. It's a down payment, if nothing more than the infrastructure costs, and then the building costs would be on the town budget. At any level of that, it's so much work is done on. I've spent 40 years on 2 different boards primarily because of my background in foundation management and capital campaigns. Governor's Academy, the Italian Home for Children in Jamaica Plain, and the Dante Alighieri Society. We raised millions of dollars and no bonding had to be done for any of the 3 projects.
I think,
But this town doesn't have that level of notice or position. These were opportunities to get in front of people of enormous means, who then lead you to 10 more people of enormous, or at least remarkable means. And this town is full of normal, regular folks.
my understanding from my work on the police station and as a selectman is the town cannot operate something like that, and that's part of why we have groups like the Friends, where there's a group that is separated and has a legally distinct existence from the town's boards and committees.
501c.
Yes, usually a 501c3.
Yeah.
And so I can double check, but I think that would be the way we would have to go.
Yeah.
And I have met with both Bob and Eric, essentially to give them an update of the program needs in the past, and we were supposed to meet again, and things got away from everybody. So once we have the matrix put together, I'll ask to meet with them again and go over it, because I think that will be the easiest and best source of professional review for the work that we are doing.
Okay.
Now, we have a guest here today, so do you have any questions, concerns, thoughts, or just...
No, I was curious about where we were, how it was going.
Yeah.
So, nothing really, it's a question yet.
Okay. Very good.
Alright.
Yeah. Sounds good. Well then, I think we can have a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Okay.
All those in favor?